This is the XRP 1 month overview reading for the month of May 2023. It's currently April 7th, 2023, 9:52 p.m. Eastern Time. XRP at the time of this reading is 0.5106. That's just over 51 cents per share USD. And the shuffle file we're about to play for the May XRP 1 month overview reading was created on March 23rd, 2023 at 12:32 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this file right here. The overall theme and behavior for the month of May, we have a significant move higher, standing out on a 1 month chart at least, breaking through resistance level on the scale of a multi-day chart, 1 month chart at least. We move through that, up through that, and we stay above it briefly before we have a full retracement of that move back down. My sense is that a lot of that retracement takes place at the beginning of the following month. It's crossed with a rally that increases with momentum moving forward in time. And then the behavior around the highest high, when the criteria, when in real time we're looking at a chart trying to determine if we've reached the highest high, we're looking for highest price level, obviously, but we're also going to be looking for behavior where we're bumping up against resistance. Maybe we broke through resistance and we're bumping up against resistance, broke through resistance, bumping up against resistance, but the majority of it will be horizontal movement along resistance, and that'll be the behavior near the high. I'll be looking for a U-shaped dip near the lowest low, U-shaped dip that forms near the intersection of two perpendicular diagonal trend lines. There'll also be a rally out of the low that increases with momentum moving forward in time. Before we go any further, let's take a look at our XRP reading for March. Alright, so we had a highest high here on what, the 29th, 30th. Highest high on the 29th. Bam! What is this, the 27th? It was the highest high thus far. Brought us to a highest high on the 29th. That's dope. Where's the lowest low? So we have a lowest low on the 9th. Lowest low on the 15th. There's a prominent low in between on the 12th. Here's the 9th, so not quite, but pretty close. Here's the 12th. I think that's the lowest low. And then here's the 15th. Pretty close. I mean, that's what happens when you get a lot of sideways behavior like that. It's difficult to determine sometimes where exactly it is because these are so close to each other. But with all that said, the main trade would have been significantly profitable, which was to open a long position on the 9th and close a long position on the 29th. So open a long position when we're at 37 cents and close a long position when we're at 57 cents. That's almost a 50% profit in a 1 month's time. That's not bad for a swing trade. I'd say we did a pretty solid prediction for March. Let's get into the rest of May. And there you have it. That's the full shuffle for May. So behavior on the 1st, we have off of a crest or peak, we have a notable decline, a notable sell-off from a peak or crest that would stand out on a multi-day chart. On the 2nd, we declined to and through support, made a second support, bounce along that support for a bit, and then we break down through multiple supports. On the 3rd, we established support on a multi-day scale, and then there's a big move to the upside standing out on the multi-day chart. There's a trade opportunity there as well, which I'll get into in more detail in the paid version. On the 4th, we have most likely early in the morning a lowest low. There's both a rally out of the lowest low, increasing with momentum moving forward in time, and at some point in the day, there's like a near the day's high, there's a move through resistance. We stay above it briefly, and then we break back down through the same price level. There's also a trade opportunity there, which I'll talk about in the paid version. Excuse me. On the 5th, we have a period of sideways rotation and a sharp dip that stands out in that period of sideways rotation. In the midst of that sharp dip, we should revisit a support level that was recently a past opportunity. On the 6th, an important technical price level is highlighted. That's important on the scale of a 1-year chart. Looks like towards the end of the day, most likely. And then on the 7th, there's early in the morning a significant move to the downside, followed by a notable move higher to reach. So we go from like a prominent trough there on the 7th, late morning, to a prominent crest here on the cusp of the 7th or the 8th. Either that or we gap up on the 8th, and then on the 8th there's a significant decline. We don't go as low as we did on the 7th. And then on the 9th, we decline from a support level, probably a gap up as well, or a move up at some point in between the 8th and the 9th somewhere. But we come up, we sell off to a support level, to and through support level. We meet a second support level, and then we do a U-shaped reversal. Then we rotate sideways along that second support level. It looks like, and then we rally into the 10th to meet a resistance level that we recently bumped up against once before, probably here on the 7th, 8th, at the cusp there. It looks like we're going to break through it because it looks like we've established support here on the 9th, but instead we end up declining through that support to a lower price level here early on the 11th. There's a resistance level that's highlighted on the 11th. It's a resistance level that we've come up against many times before and failed to break through. Trade opportunity there on the 11th as well. Guys, if you're interested in the trade, in getting the paid version and seeing the best trades that we see for the month, the way that you do that, it's a really great way to support the channel as well. You go to the website tarotfortraders.com, hit on Eso-Meta forecasts here under the services tab, monthly predictions, May prediction, and then just pick which one you're looking for from the drop down. We definitely remember the names of those people that do that. Feel free to shout out on our lives, and much appreciated to all of you that go ahead and do that. All right, so we have a highest high, it looks like around the 11th, 12th, most likely on the 12th, late morning, but it could be at the end of the day on the 11th. It's a little difficult to determine. There's a sharp decline off of the high. After we meet key resistance on a multi-day scale, there's a sharp decline from that high with consecutively lower spikes up on the way down. Decline continues into the 13th. With a trough at the end of the day, although it looks like we go lower still than the low at the end of the day on the 13th. It's a little unclear here on the 14th, 15th, but there's a period at which we rotate sideways along key support on a multi-day chart, at least a 1-month chart. And there's a significant trade opportunity there. Also a day trade opportunity on the 15th, the 13th, and the 12th. All day trade opportunities, which we'll talk about in the paid version. On the 16th, we establish support. So on the 15th, 16th, we go from establishing support, rotating sideways, to a big move higher on the 16th, sending out on a 1-month, followed by the establishment of support at a higher level, setting on the scale of a 1 month. We have a prominent crest or peak after a bit of a breakout early in the morning on the 17th, but that peak or crest it's near overbought, and we sell off from there pretty notably through multiple supports, continuing to sell off into the 18th, continuing into the 19th with multiple false bottoms there on the 19th, and then we're oversold on the 20th, and there's a big move out of oversold territory to the upside. Looks like probably early afternoon high, mid-afternoon high, followed by a sharp decline or a gap down, and then another move high to the upside, or a price swing, either that or a price swing there between the 20th and the 21st. But we see another crest in the mid-morning on the 21st, another crest on the 22nd. There's an important resistance level highlighted there on the 22nd. It looks like it might be the same resistance that we've come up against on the 21st, or it might be slightly higher. We see important resistance again on the 23rd. That's probably the same resistance level, the 22nd and the 23rd. And then there's a significant decline at the end of the day, or starting early afternoon session on the 23rd. There's a significant decline into the 24th, where we have a prominent trough on a 1-month scale standing out. Out of that, there's sideways rotation and a move to the upside to meet the nearest key resistance level, followed by a decline back to continue rotating sideways along key support. That's key resistance and support on a 1-month chart at least. On the 26th, we have a holding pattern with a pop and drop, and then on the 27th, I'm advised not to chase the rally at the end of the day on the 26th. We open lower on the 27th, and then there's a breakout there on the 27th with a rally that increases with momentum moving forward into the high. Off of that high, we have a decline that increases with momentum on the 28th. Probably a gap up on the 20. Well, maybe not a gap up, but like we go from like a high on the 27th, declining with increasing momentum. Matter of fact, that highest high might be on the 28th. It's the 27th of the 28th. It gets a little vague here, but it's the 27th of the 28th. And then off of that high, which is that key resistance, we have a decline that increases with momentum moving forward in time. That high at resistance, we poke through it briefly and then come back down through the same price level shortly thereafter. Around the 29th. On the 30th, we have a period of sideways rotation along key support on a multi-day scale that ends with a fast sudden move higher. There's a day trade there on the 30th as well, which I'll get into in the paid version. And then we have a significant trough at the end of the day on the 30th or early in the day on the 31st. A lot of movement to the downside on the 31st. It looks like we probably move pretty significant to the downside off of that high. Because we should see like a full retracement from the peak there. And then the sneak preview for June is 3 crisscrosses back and forth through the same price level, confirming a bullish trend. When we look at the 1 month, when we look at the 1 year for May, prominent high for the year here, and it looks like it takes place mid-May and then again at the end of May. And it looks like we probably pushed the upper end of a range higher here in June, so that looks like it might be bullish. It's bullish into June, it looks like. In any case, guys, remember, as always, to follow that rule of karma. It's super important you follow the rule of karma here. It's an unwritten rule of the channel. To utilize the information on this channel for profit, you must be following this rule, or the universe is going to find ways to keep those profits from you. We're looking for people that are going to be angel investors. And an angel investor, what they do is they follow the rule of karma. It's 5% of the profits paid back to the channel through Cash App or PayPal here. 5% of the profits paid forward to one of these charities to do good, to do some goodwill with the stock market. And by doing that, guys, we're guaranteeing the flow of abundance into our lives. And that 90%, make sure we spend it out of love. The universe will send it back to us tenfold in all directions. My friends, stay tuned if you got the paid version. We're going to get into the best trades that we see for the month in just a second.